Hey guys, welcome to another lesson of Adventures in Anatomy. Today we're going to learn about your brain and your head and your face. Sound good? What did we learn about last time? Do you remember? We learned about your wrist. Good job. What does your wrist and hand have in common with another body part? Do you remember? It's a body part we talked about at the very beginning. Your feet, right? Your feet and your hands both have what we call phalanges. Good job. Awesome. So today we're going to talk about the head, all right? So look, how fun is that? So your head is one of those bones. Remember way back a long time ago we talked about how when you're a baby you have a lot more bones than when you're an adult, right? Well, the head is part of that. So your head has a few different bones that we're going to talk about. And then we're not really going to talk about any muscles on it, but then we'll talk about how all of the body systems apply to the head. Okay, sound good? Awesome. So first things first, meet Slim. Okay, Slim is going to help us out today so that you can see what we're learning about. Okay, so our skull is made up of a few different bones that are fused together. Okay, so the first one we're going to talk about is our frontal bone. The frontal bone is right here on your forehead. If you take your hand just like this and you put it on your forehead, this is your frontal bone because it's, guess what? In the front. Good job. So frontal bone, okay? After the frontal bone is two bones that have the same name, okay? I don't know if you can see this little line right here. Okay, but these two bones that come on the sides are called your parietal bones, okay? So we have our frontal bone and then our parietal bones. Your parietal bones are in parts. One part, two part. Got it? Frontal bone, parietal bones. Frontal bone, parietal bones. Okay? So in the very back of our head, we have what we call the occipital bone. Okay? So if you do the same thing with your hand that we did in the front, and you put it on the very base of your head, that's called your occipital bone, okay? So we've learned up three so far. Frontal, parietal, occipital, right? Nice. So next is your temporal bones. You know the soft spot in your head right here? Yeah, that's called your temple. That's where your temporal bone is, okay? So we have frontal, parietal, occipital, temporal. Yeah, you might have to feel around a little bit to find it. Mine is right here. You go to your eyeball and come straight over. It's right in there. It's kind of a softer part of your head, okay? Alright, so then this thing is called your cheekbone. You can feel this on you. So if you smile and you poke right here, right where the puff of your smile is, this is your zygomatic bone, or your zygomatic arch, okay? It comes all the way from your nose, under your eyeball, and straight back, just like this. From your nose, under your eyeball, straight back. Nice. Frontal, parietal, occipital, temporal, zygomatic arch. Can you do that? See if you can. Alright, so after the zygomatic arch, we have two bones left, two big ones, okay? First is your maxilla. This is your upper jaw. It's called your maxilla because it's max. It's above this bone, okay? So your maxilla is right here. Pretend you have a mustache on the inside of your finger right there. Put the mustache on. That's your maxilla right there. Good job. If you smile, it's the part right above your teeth. Awesome. So your maxilla sits above this is called your mandible. This is your bottom jaw. Okay, so your mandible comes from below your ears, runs all the way down and around, and back up the other side. So it comes just like this, down and around, and back up the other side. Yeah, just like that. So how I remember it, when you eat something and it's chewy, sometimes we say it's chewable. Well, your mandible is chewable. It's not chewable. You can't chew on your mandible, but it is what helps you chew. Did you know that your maxilla, this bone right here, your top bone, your top jaw, doesn't move? It just stays. All of your talking and all of your chewing comes from that bottom bone moving. What's it called again? Mandible. Good job. Nice. So those are the bones of your skull, all right? Those all put together make up your head. Then you got some holes for your eyes and a hole for your nose. It's like I was picking his nose. Gross. So, I told you we weren't going to talk about any muscles. There's a lot of muscles. So, muscle that covers the whole thing, muscles that make your eyes move, muscles that make you smile, muscles that make you frown. I'm not very good at frowning. But your brain and your head is the central part of where all of those body systems that we talked about in the beginning come together. Let's talk about a few, okay? So you have your circulatory system. That was a long time ago. What does that mean? That's what moves all of your blood in your body. So your circulatory system also comes to your head because your brain needs blood, because blood carries oxygen and your brain needs oxygen, okay? So your circulatory system goes to your head, right? We just talked about how your brain needs oxygen, so your respiratory system, which is your breathing, which is what gets oxygen in and out of your body, yeah, your brain needs that too, right? So circulatory, respiratory, then your central nervous system. All of those nerves that run all over your body come up the spinal cord, which we'll talk about eventually, and end right here in this. Okay, so all of those parts come together in your head because your brain needs to talk to them, except for the parts where, you remember the stretch reflexes that don't talk to your brain, they just go to your spinal cord and come back? Yeah, but everything else in your body needs to talk to your brain in order to work. Do you know where your brain's at? Is it in your belly? No. Is it in your heart? No. Is it in your feet? No. Your brain is in a very special cavity in your head. So your brain goes right there. What? So pretend this is my head. You just take it apart and your brain's right in the middle. Your brain fills up this whole space. Mine is just a little bit, okay? So your brain is held in there by muscles and by some fluid that floats around. It's really interesting how it works. So we just put this back on, and you can imagine your brain is encapsulated in your skull, and it talks to everything in your body. Your head is like the command center. Have you ever seen like a movie with like a spaceship and there's a guy that he needs to fly it? There's all of these controls and buttons everywhere, and he's like, I don't know what to do, there's so many buttons. Well, your brain knows exactly what to do, and there's so many buttons. It's like a giant control center. Now, there's not actually buttons in your brain, but it's kind of fun to imagine that that's how it works, right? Let's go over the bones one more time, and then I'll let you go, okay? What's this guy right here? Your frontal bone. Good job. And right behind your frontal bone in two parts is your parietal bones. Good job. And at the base of your head, right here, is your occipital bone. Good job. What's this squishy part right here, right behind your eyeball? Right here? Temporal bone. Good. And what's this little arch called? Starts with a Z, runs all the way through your face. Zygomatic. Zygomatic. Good job. Yeah, and then what's this part called? Not chewable, but mandible. Mandible. Good job. And it runs all the way up here to right behind your ear. Yeah, there you go. Good job. And if you put on your mustache, we have your Maxilla bone. Does your Maxilla move? No. Maxilla, Maxible. Sometimes I get my words mixed up. Mandible, Maxilla. Mandible, Maxilla. Sometimes when you repeat things to yourself, it makes them easier to understand and remember. Okay? So, that's all the bones in your head. I'm glad that we got to learn together today, and I can't wait to see you next Thursday. Bye, guys!